Thank you for taking out the time today for this discussion, and we look forward to hearing your story and your journey towards the ISB PGP program. Congratulations once again on your admit.
Thank you so much. I am also happy to share my journey.
So, Aarav, tell us about your background and tell us about how you planned on applying to the MBA programs.
So, I have done my Bachelor's of Engineering from BIT Mesra, Ranchi. My engineering branch was mechanical. So, I got placed in Axis Bank in 2020 in their business intelligence unit. There, I was working in the cross sell lending and analytics team for the financial products who were serving out the financial needs of MSME lenders. That included term loan and a working capital. I was working on the analytics of these two products, making out the pre-approved offers, helping out the products team in offering various products to the various lenders of our country. So I had worked there for 2 years and 3 months. Post that, I had made a switch to join TransUnion, which is India's largest consumer credit bureau. I had worked there in the data science and insights team for around 2 years and 6 months. During the second job tenure, I realized that I wanted to pursue MBA because of my experiences. Since I was working in core analytics for 4.5 years, I realized that I want to explore other domains as well. I wanted to get a proper business understanding. That is when I was very clear that I have to apply for an MBA. And at that point, I was exploring out the options, and ISB was one of the best options since they were offering 1 year MBA. So I decided to apply to ISB. In 2024, suppose that I started with the entire things which needed to be done to get to ISB.
Yeah. So the first step on this journey is your GMAT preparation. How was it getting back to books after such a long time? And what were the challenges you faced? Are there any tips or things that you would like to share with others on this particular subject?
So with job, when I started preparing for the GMAT, initially it was really hectic because I was also committed in my job and I was giving my best in the job, delivering out all the critical projects, what was being expected from me, as I was also enjoying delivering those tasks. And at the same time, I started preparing for GMAT after my job hours. So at that time, I tried to keep my schedule as disciplined as possible. So for 3 to 4 months, I used to come from my office and sit for 2-3 hours and used to solve questions. For at least 2 months, I had gone through all the basic concepts, and I had taken only GMAT official mocks. They were really helpful because I feel the GMAT official mocks are the actual replica of the exam. They are very close to the exam rather than taking any other coaching institute mocks. The materials of the coaching institute can help you prepare for the GMAT. But for the mocks, I would really suggest to anyone that they should go for the GMAT official mock because they are very good. So I had given GMAT official mock, and when I started to get a score of 655 or 665 plus in my GMAT official mocks, then I was ready to apply for the GMAT. So I filled the application, but for the first application, due to some logistical issues, I was not able to give my GMAT in June of 2024. And there were certain things for which I was not able to give the GMAT in the next 2 months. So I had replanned my GMAT again in September 24, and I attempted the GMAT. Although I feel that I was not at my best in the quant section, particularly the quant section, I feel that it has dragged me slightly down, but I got a GMAT focus score of 655. And when we were discussing about the GMAT barrier, you were also of the opinion that the 655, it is a good score, it is a class average score, so it will not create much barrier on that ISB application piece. So I was confident that I should now go ahead in the application process and focus on other aspects of the application of ISB.
Yeah, because GMAT is important, but it's not everything that they will look at. There are so many other
Right.
things. You need to be, timing yourself correctly so that you start with the application on time as well.
Totally agreed.
Yeah. And tell us about, the application process, the journey, and what.
So when I had given the GMAT exam, I was knowing about the process of ISB. I may have the idea, but I was slightly unsure as well because I wanted to give a 100% to this, and I did not wanted to leave any stones unturned for the application of ISB. Even if there is scope of improvement about 1%, I would have taken any expert's opinion. So I was of that opinion at the start. That's why I had also asked one of my friends, and he has suggested me about taking help from you. So I approached you, and you started to guide me initially. Then I realized that I should take your help. And in the initial phases, the questionnaire piece which you share, the 30 questions, I feel that was very structured, and it was something which has taken me around 1 week or around 10 days to fill it entirely. But when I look back today, I feel it was something that has really helped me in the entire application journey as well as during my interview, because scripting down in my entire life stories and answering those questions which are critical for the application process, they are really important, and they give you an idea, or they help you further to build a strong narrative about your case, why you are the perfect candidate to enter to ISB, and why it is the right time you feel that you should aspire for a course like MBA. So I feel that that was really helpful. And then we had started to work on the application. So you had helped me revise my drafts, and you had also pointed out that how should I approach in preparing, connecting all the dots of my life to build a strong narrative, so that those two mandatory essays can be answered in the best possible way. Also, the guidance which you had given regarding the third optional essay, the short term goals and the long term goals, what should I explore and understand what can be done on my half. So, these things, I really felt that your guidance was very critical for these things, for the three essays. So, it was really helpful in that way.
Yeah, before you sit down to write your essays, you need to put in that exercise of, at least 15 to 20 days to be able to understand what goes where. It's not about writing beautiful essays, it's more about getting the right stories and getting the right context behind those stories.
Totally agreed on that also.
Yeah. And for people who are planning to, go ahead with their applications in this upcoming cycle, are there any tips or suggestions, do's or don'ts that you would like to share with them?
Because the application process is a very cumbersome. It is an entire process of around 6 months. I have started my application process from September, and I got my final result at the end of February. So it is a very grueling process, but with the proper planning and guidance, you can excel the application process as well as the entire journey of ISB, and you can also get an admit if you plan it well, starting from the GMAT. So I would suggest to them, plan one step at a time, and focus on that step which you are currently in. So why I am saying that, because in my journey, when I was preparing for the GMAT, I was totally focusing on that. I was not bothering about my application or the interview piece. So in that way, I kept my focus completely on a particular part of the process. Although in the back of the mind, there were other things running, and I was giving some time to other things as well. But I was focusing majorly on that particular step at that time. So in that way, I had broken down my entire journey, GMAT preparation and getting a score, post that the application preparation, the resume preparation, the letter of recommendation, finding out a recommender, and discussing the various nitty gritties about the process with him. And when I was done with my application, there were about 20 days when I got the final invite for the interview.
Don't mix two things. Just get done with the first one and then get to the next step. And these are times, that you have a lot of chat GPT, you have a lot of AI tools to write your essays. How beneficial, or what are your thoughts on just the idea of using these tools?
So I would say to keep it more human touch about. So one can take help from Chat GPT, but not to write the entire essay. They can. So what I would say for the entire application essays, I have not taken the help of any AI softwares, because there is always a, as you had told me, that there can be chances that there will be rigorous AI tools testing, which could lead to penalty as well. So I was also not of the opinion that I will be using them. So, but I feel that they can help you in improving something, but they should not be the permanent solution or permanent finder for your essay. They should not be used as something that they will help you prepare the entire essay, because it will lack that human touch, and ultimately it is your stories. You have to portray yourself, you have to sell yourself. So I feel that you should write your entire essays on your own.
Thank you so much for taking up the time today, and all the best for your journey to ISB PGP, and we'll be in touch.